In the interest of Jagger Shelp, we are here today set for our final in this matter. We are conducting this through Zoom under a finding of good cause and agreement of the parties. We are live streaming, and Ms. Taylor is making our record for us today. Okay, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Afternoon, Your Honor. Jean Graff and Tiffany Brown on behalf of St. Francis, present, ready to proceed.
Sage Seal here with the mother, Sierra Shelp, Your Honor. She is present and we are ready.
Bailey Sapien on behalf of respondent father. My client's present and we're ready.
Erin Mullinex, attorney ad litem for the child, ready, Your Honor.
Okay, and Casa is also present with us this afternoon. Okay. All right then, Mr. Graff, I guess if you want to recite what is agreed, we can start there.
Thank you, Your Honor. And so we mediated, and the mother was not present, but she did communicate with Ms. Seal following the mediation. And I'm going to just go over what I understand to be the agreement. In this case, the father would be named the managing conservator, with the mother being possessory conservator. All in-person and virtual visits with the mother would be supervised either by family court services, paid for by the mother, or by the father, or by anyone the father approves of as a supervisor for the visit. Virtual visitation for the mother would occur every Sunday at 1 p.m. and at other times as approved by the father. Before the mother was able to get any in-person visits, she must provide a negative UA to the father with the testing sample provided to the lab no more than 3 days prior to the visit. The mother would bear the cost alone of the test. Additionally, before moving to a standard visitation schedule as described in the family code, the mother must take a UA and a hair test and provide the negative results to the father at her sole cost. After moving to standard visitation, the father may ask for a UA and/or hair test at any time, but a hair test may not be requested less than 90 days from the last hair test. And if a test or tests are negative, the father must reimburse the mother the cost of the test within 30 days. If a test was positive in that circumstance, the mother would bear the sole cost, and her visits would revert to virtual visitation until such time as she can provide a negative hair test and a UA. The mother will pay guideline monthly minimum wage child support to the father and $50 in medical support to the state of Texas beginning on July 1st, 2026. That's been agreed to. There's a name change issue that is in dispute, but I just want to confirm with the other parties that the recitation I gave is also their understanding and agreement.
All right, then, Ms. Seal, is this what you understand you all have agreed to?
Yes, Your Honor. The recitation by Mr. Graff is what was discussed with Ms. Shelp. We have gone over that, and that's my understanding of the agreement.
Okay, Ms. Shelp, you understand what's been announced, and is that what you've agreed to with respect to those issues? I understand.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just have one question. Me and Alvarado actually spoke on Mother's Day about insurance. I actually have insurance through my job, and he talked about getting him on his insurance as well. Does the extra $50 still need to be paid? Not that I'm arguing that or anything. I just want to make sure if we both have insurance on him, do I still need to pay that extra $50?
Are you both going to carry insurance?
Yes, ma'am. I actually already have it through the Dollar General. I have insurance, and I have insurance on Jagger as well.
All right, so whose insurance will be primary? Yours?
Either or. I can do primary that way, since I was going to have to pay anyways. But like I said, we kind of had a brief conversation about it, and he mentioned putting him on his VA insurance as well.
Okay, Ms. Sapien, do you know anything? I mean, what your client's intent is?
Your Honor, we had the $50 because I believe the child was currently on Medicaid. But if Ms. Shelp has insurance, I don't think that my client would have an objection to her being ordered to carry and maintain insurance. And Mr. Alvarado does have insurance available to him through the VA that he is intending on putting the child on. So I think it would be okay to do away with the $50 and order mom to maintain that insurance.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. That was my only question. But other than that, yes, ma'am.
Hey, question here, I mean, have you compared what coverages are, I mean, through the VA versus through your job, you know, as far as somebody being designated as primary, the primary
No, ma'am.
insurance, I mean,
No, ma'am, we haven't compared anything. If we could get together here soon, and do that whenever you have time, I can come to town and do that with you. I need to get you cards anyways, if that's the case. So yeah, absolutely. We can get that done ASAP.
well, the insurance companies are gonna wanna know. I mean,
Right.
you know, you'll have to designate all that.
Okay.
I'm just saying, you know, coverage through the VA might prove to be far more comprehensive than through your company. I don't know that for a fact,
Yes, ma'am.
but I just, you know, it just seems like y'all are gonna have to make a decision about who's gonna be ordered to put the primary. Mr. Graff, can we hold the order, preparing the order until we get an answer from parents on this? I mean, in theory, I'm fine with either mom being ordered to provide it where she's primary, or dad being ordered to provide it where his insurance would be the primary. That's what they're gonna look to. But either one then can also provide it and be secondary.
Yeah, I have no objection to that. I would just ask if we could make inquiries to the insurance companies and kind of get an answer on that within, say, 2 weeks or something like that, just so we don't leave the order out there festering for a while.
Yeah, we gotta put we need an answer, you know. If you all have 2 weeks to resolve this, do you think you can do that?
Great.
Okay, they're both saying.
Yes,
yeah.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I mean, it sounds like they're diligent and they were already kind of doing their homework on that. So we just don't want to leave the order out there. But I'm totally satisfied if we want to, you know, give them a little bit of a window of 2 weeks or so and get that answer.
I'm just gonna make a note that of course, her child support will be based on minimum wage, and that parents will each provide health insurance and will agree within 14 days who will be primary, for purposes of the drafting the order.
Great.
Okay. And if in fact that's gonna be the way it is, then there would not be any reason for the $50 a month reimbursement.
Right. Great.
It also affects the amount of child support, because the cost of that insurance is calculated into that child support.
Right.
So Michelle, you know, that's something you can discuss with your attorney, but if you're gonna be the primary insurance and you're paying for it, that there's a little bit of a offset. That's not a great way to say it, but anyway,
Okay.
it factors into a child support calculation
Yes, ma'am.
and everything. So, okay.
Judge, I had a request in my chat from my client. Can we let Ms. Campos in? Apparently she's in the waiting room.
She's in.
Oh, great.
she's
I
in.
didn't see that. Thank
Yeah,
you.
she's in and has been in. So,
Great. Thank you.
okay.
Okay, so
Okay, let me just ask then, Ms. Sapien, I mean, we'll figure that out, but is that agreeable and what you and your client were anticipating?
It is, Your Honor. The only remaining issue, like Mr. Graff said, would be a request on the name change of the child.
Okay. All right, then, Ms. Mullinax, with respect to these announced agreements, are you good with all this?
Well, Your Honor, I hate to put a kink in everybody's agreements, but we didn't sign an MSA. And since that mediation, I have been in contact with the previous placement who had the child for 10 months, and she has very limited contact with this child. And so I would like to see maybe her being the supervisor for Ms. Shelp so that she can have contact with the child as well, because he's very bonded to her. And so I think that's still at issue at this point.
Y'all need to go into a breakout room? Talk about that?
No objection.
Erin, you're talking about Sierra's mom, is that right?
Right.
Okay.
All right, let me put the lawyers in a breakout room real quick and let them make sure they all, everybody's on the same page. And then if we need to let you all talk to clients, we'll do that. Okay. All right, room 1 for attorneys. Okay, everybody else just stay where you're at.
So Judge, that was a good question by Ms. Mullinax. That issue, for some reason, she got left off of the email Ms. Stevens had sent out following mediation, even though it wasn't in an MSA, we kind of memorialized it. It sounds like all sides agree that the grandmother, and I just want to make sure it's Christina Dingus. Is that correct, Ms. Dingus? Okay. It would be an approved supervisor for mom's visits. Sounds like nobody's objecting to that. And also, I mentioned family court services. We met family support services.
I figured that's what you meant.
Yeah. So I think then, as Ms. Sapien indicated, it sounds like the name change is the only issue. Father would like to rename the child, including the first name. Mother objects. We talked about it at mediation, but I don't know that either CASA or St. Francis feels super strongly either way. I don't want to speak for CASA, but that's kind of my understanding. This is mainly an issue between the parents. And it's mainly the first name. Given the child's young age, we thought, well, we can kind of understand where he's coming from, but we just don't have a position on it. So I'll turn the floor over with the court's permission to the parents' attorneys to address that issue with Your Honor.
So let me just clarify. So Ms. Sapien, your client is the one asking to change the child's name, correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
And what does he want to change it to?
He's asking to change it to Valentino Balam, Balam Alvarado.
What is the significance of those names? To hit, as far as, I mean, are they family names or that's what I'm trying to get at?
Mr. Alvarado. I can see you're talking, but I can't hear you.
Yes, Your Honor. Those family names have strong ties to relatives past that have a few of them have perished trying to come over to the United States back in the 70s and 80s. I was trying to rename him to, one of them is one of my great uncles and the other one is a great grandfather.
All right, so you recognize, well, let me just ask the same question of the mother. Where did the existing name for the child come from? What is the root of that?
His first name, I just picked a J name. My first son's name starts with a J as well. The middle name is after my very good friend that is like a father figure to me as well. My first son's name is Josiah Michael, which is my blood father's middle name. Jagger's middle name, which is Weldon, is my friend Weldon's first name. So I understand where he's coming from, but it was definitely an argument in the beginning, and we never really got to have like a real conversation about it.
Okay, so
And if I may, Judge, just Ms. Shelp, you're not objecting to changing his last name from Shelp to Alvarado, correct?
Correct. Yes, I'm totally fine with him changing his last name. That's 100% fine with me. But as far as his full name, like, I'm not okay with that.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
well, the court is not generally in the business of naming children. And usually what this dispute involves is the surname, which is the last name. But, you know, I suppose, can there be some compromise since you each have some particular attachment to certain names, but Jagger was not particularly attached to any relationship or familial relationship or close family friend or anything? I mean, is there a possibility of settling on one of father's preferred names plus Weldon is a middle name?
I'm okay with him adding it in there. I just, like I said, not that I don't want to budge. Please don't get me wrong. I'm okay with him adding it. I just don't want his name to be changed. That's just, I guess, my standpoint.
Mr. Alvarado,
Mr. Alvarado, were you present when the child was born?
he wasn't present, Your Honor, and he wasn't notified.
Well, yeah, folks, I feel sorry for kids that have names that are longer than the Canadian River. It's saddling them with a lot. Because believe it or not, some people in life do have to go by and use routinely their full legal name. So, you know, to call him Jagger Valentino Balam Alvarado, I mean, how would you like to have to write that every time you had to sign your full legal name? I mean, the child was almost a year old. I mean, I don't know what the circumstances were at the time of the child's birth and why dad wasn't there or why he wasn't notified or what the problem was. I mean, I guess I can go back and look at all my notes, but what the situation was at the time of birth. But generally all we entertain on these deals is the surname, and you all have agreed on that. I mean, can we live with the Jagger Weldon Alvarado? Or can we drop, I mean, which is more important to you, Miss Shelp, Jagger or Weldon? What's he been called?
Judge, he's called Jagger, and if I can make a recommendation, what about Jagger Valentino Alvarado? That covers one of each of their names.
That's kind of what I'm trying to go for. If we can compromise?
I'll compromise with that.
I as well, Your Honor.
So Jagger Valentino Alvarado? Are we good with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you all. I really appreciate it. Thank you for being the grown-ups about this. That's very good of you. Okay. child's name will be changed to Jagger Valentino Alvarado. I assume Valentino is in the normal typical spelling, nothing unusual.
It is, Your Honor. And
Okay.
Mr. Alvarado has to clock in at 2, so that's where he's walking, and then he'll be stationary again.
No, it's okay. No problem. I could tell he was at work, so. All right. All right. So child's name will be changed to Jagger Valentino Alvarado. All right. And then when he comes home from 2nd grade and announces to y'all that he's going to be known as Val, and then y'all just have to live with it. All right. Val, well, that worked pretty well for Val Kilmer. I don't know. Worked out for him, okay. All right. So anything else that we have remaining?
Not aware of anything, Judge. Appreciate parties coming together on this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not for me, Judge.
Ms. Molinax, are you good with all of this then?
Yeah, Your Honor, the only thing I would encourage is I know Mr. Alvarado is going to have the child most of the time and Ms. Dingus has been involved. So I would just encourage those two to have a relationship so that she can continue to see the child.
I would hope so. And so far, what they're demonstrating to me is they're putting child's best interest first. So presumably they'll continue to do that. Let me just ask Casa now that we've kind of worked through some hiccups. Is Casa good with all this?
Looks like she's trying to unmute.
Yeah. Are you on a phone? Try *6. Let me send you a prompt. Hang on.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Gotcha.
That worked great. I appreciate that. CASA is excited that all parties are working together, Your Honor. And the only thing I would add, everything, Excel and his new wife, Renee, have done amazing, and Jagger is doing good. Jagger had a rough couple of weeks kind of getting adjusted. It was a tough go, but with his age, it will be a tough go. But Excel has done amazing and knows the favorite foods, some different things going on. We did reach out to St. Francis about shot records and medical records, and hopefully they're getting those to Excel as soon as possible. The family dynamics is going very well. CASA would like to request that upon with Miss Dingus being involved with the child continually with visitations, if it is something that possibly mom tests positive, that Miss Dingus still gets to retain a visitation. They are bonded, and Excel and Miss Dingus have worked very well together. So in the agreement, if it's every other weekend or summers, however the agreement is made, that possibly Miss Dingus can have those visitations to keep that bond and to keep that part of the family. That Jagger realizes there are so many people that love him, and I'm haven't had a chance to discuss this with Excel. We did kind of early on, but not lately. And at that point, he was very open to it. And he has been very welcoming and gracious. So that's the only thing that I might add to this, is to visitations for Miss Dingus in case there is any problems with any positive or negative testing, to put something in there to that she still gets visitation. Your Honor, these parents have stepped up and done very well. Sierra is about to finish her OSAR, And the in-person OSAR, I think, has been wonderful, wonderful for her. I know it's been hard, but she has done well. And I see a great future ahead, and she's just going to dig in and she's going to stand up, and she wants so badly to be a part of Jagger's life. And that is like the most important thing. But just in case and just whatever might be happening, just some consistency with Jagger. I see where Miss Dingus could provide that and be a help to Excel and Renee in as Jagger grows and does the things that he's going to do. I would like to see something like that for her. This has been an extraordinary case. And I appreciate everyone involved. It has been a hard one, but I love seeing the families come together. And the best is for Jagger. And he has the biggest smile on his face. He is growing. He's doing wonderful. And that's what CASA is for. And to see it all coming together is amazing. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Balcom. Okay, so let me just clarify. Ms. Balcom, since she is not a named party in the case, I really can't court order her anything. But I would just encourage Mr. Alvarado, regardless of what may or may not happen, but what happens between mother and child, children should never be penalized by taking, a positive influence in their life out of their life. But as the sole managing conservator of the child, I think it's Mr. Alvarado's responsibility and his right to make those determinations, and part of the reason, he's getting named as the managing conservator is that we're going to all trust that he is going to do what's in the best interest of the child. And so, I'm going to put that in his hands and just, obviously I concur with what you're saying and would encourage him to do that, but I can't really court order her to have that.
Thank you, Your Honor. That is understandable.
Okay. All right, then I will approve everything that's been announced as agreed, and I'll look for an order when you all get that put together, knowing this may be just a minute or two before we get this health insurance thing ironed out. But I encourage parents to look into that as quick as you can and make a decision, what's the best financial decision and what covers more and what is accepted more widely, and so I would definitely compare your coverages. Okay, I sure appreciate everybody's participation and everybody's work on the case, and I wish the parents the very best of luck. The only other thing that wasn't announced that I will announce is once all this is done and signed, then I'll dismiss the Department of Family and Protective Services from the case, as well as all court-appointed attorneys and CASA. Okay, thank you all so very much, and I think everybody's free to go.
Thanks,
Thank
Your
you,
Honor.
Judge.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your
Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
In the interest of Tama Gutierrez and Jesse Gutierrez III, we are here today for our status hearing. We are conducting this through Zoom under a finding of good cause and agreement of the parties. We're live streaming. Ms. Taylor is making our record. All right, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Morning, Your Honor. Gene Graff and Sylvia Torres on behalf of St. Francis, present and ready to proceed.
Bailey Sapien on behalf of Angel Gomez, my client's present. We're ready.
Jerry Morales on behalf of respondent father Jesse Gutierrez. He's present. We are ready.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of the boys.
All right, thank you. Okay, then, Ms. Torres, if you'll raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear to tell us the truth today.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you can go ahead and just give us an update and we'll find out if we've got questions.
Okay. Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. We'll start with Jesse. Jesse is doing very well at his placement. He is in a foster home here in Lubbock. He appears to be adjusting.
Sorry, I lost. When
Okay.
you look down, I'm losing you. So I heard a something in Lubbock.
Yeah, Ms. Torres, if you'll just kind of start over, but
Okay.
yeah. Go ahead.
And can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So Jesse is in a foster home in Lubbock. He appears to be doing very well. I have reached out to caregivers and also just kept in touch with them to see how he is doing as far as adjusting. He was having a little bit of trouble sleeping to where he wasn't wanting to sleep in his crib or would have episodes during the night of screaming and crying. Those have appeared to have decreased to where he's only waking up 2 times a night now, but getting that comfort from caregivers so that he's able to go back to sleep. He completed his medical on 4/22. There were no concerns that were reported from the medical provider. He was able to get his immunization, so he is currently up to date on immunizations. And it was reported that he has gained about 3 pounds. So I know that was a little difficult on even when he was with mom and dad of him eating and gaining weight. So he's actually gaining some weight. He completed his dental on April 15th. No concerns were reported. He seems to have a very good oral hygiene. Jesse is not in daycare. He stays at the foster placement, and he is provided with educational tools and toys to play with, as well as a learning environment with foster placement. Jesse is receiving ECI services that actually started a couple of weeks ago. He is receiving behavioral therapy, specialized social skills, speech, and OT. He is right now working on his speech and his behaviors as he has been observed to, when he gets upset or has temper tantrums, he'll bang his head on the floor or hit himself. And so they're working on that so that he has other ways to cope and work out his tantrums. Jesse has visits with mom every Friday from 10 to 11 a.m. in Lubbock at the visitation house here for St. Francis. And then he has visits with dad Fridays as well from 11 to 12 at the same location. No concerns have been reported as far as visits and how they're going. Interaction has been very well. Engagement has been also documented as positive. And so the only concerns that have been brought to my attention is that the concerns of mom and dad coming together to the visits. And so that has been addressed with Mr. Gutierrez. On to Cuauhtemoc, who nickname is Demo, so I will refer to him as Demo. He is in the foster home as well with his sibling. He also appears to be doing very well. He's adjusting. He's a happy baby. He's content as long as he's getting his meals in and he's getting those cuddles and nurturing time in. He is up to date on his immunizations as he did complete that medical on April 22nd and also had a dental on April 16th with no concerns. He does have some little teeth coming out, so it's time to start brushing on his teeth. He is not in daycare as well. Demo is receiving ECI services for physical therapy and social skills. This had started when he was in Amarillo. He got reassessed at the end of April, and so he will start receiving services to help him to learn to sit up, also to help him roll over. And he did have some lack of mobility on his arm, and so they're helping that as well. He's also becoming more vocal with cooing and laughing and giggling, as well as yelling. And then he recently started to clap, so that's something new that he's now doing more often. Other than that, he is having a better mobility of holding his head up. And so the caregivers had reported that they're going to start introducing baby foods to him now that he's able to have his head up a little bit more without the support. And they've also changed his feeding schedule to formula every 4 hours, 8 ounces per feeding. But overall, they're doing very well at placement. Visits seem to be going well for both Timo and Jesse.
All right, and how about parents?
For mom, we have where we're asking for her to maintain stable housing. Mom reports that she is living with a friend, but has not provided me any information on that or have been allowed access to the home. So we've been having our visits at the St. Francis office. Mom, we are asking that she maintain stability in employment. Mom has reported to me that she is not employed, but is looking for work. We are asking that she complete individual counseling and follow through with recommendations. She has established services with Jenna Harris and attends weekly. So those have I've been receiving positive reports on that. She will also complete a psychosocial evaluation and a mental health assessment with Jenna Harris, and those will get scheduled in the near future. We are asking that she complete random drug testing and submit to an OSAR. Ms. Gomez has reported that her OSAR is scheduled for July 8th, and she has submitted to 2 drug tests, one for April and then here recently for May. The UA is pending. However, the hair follicle did come back positive for marijuana. We are asking that she participate in the WAV program and follow through with our recommendations. Ms. Gomez has reported that she has continued to make attempts on getting that scheduled, but it has not been successful. So I'm going to reach out to that program to see if I could get her in. We are asking that she participate in the parenting class program. So Ms. Gomez has reported to me that she will start this Thursday in person from 6 to 7. And then we are asking her to complete all her visits with her children here in Lubbock. She has attended most of her visits. On Friday, May 8th, she did miss the visit with her kids. She did report to me that her ride had fell through. And then she later reported to me that Mr. Gutierrez had been arrested. And so her ride, which was Mr. Gutierrez's sister, was not able to bring her, and because she had to go and deal with Mr. Gutierrez. And so that is why she was not able to attend that visit. But other than that, she has been consistent in getting her services either established or started. For Mr. Gutierrez, we have asked that he establish paternity as he has been reported as the alleged father of Jesse and Demo. We are asking that he maintain stability in housing. He reports to me that he is living with his parents. And so I'm hoping to meet with him this month at his parents' home. He has also reported to me that he is employed full-time through his family's business of masonry. And he has been asked to provide employment verification in the form of a letter so that where I'm able to verify that information. We are asking Mr. Gutierrez to participate in therapy and follow through with our recommendations. Mr. Gutierrez has reported that he has established services with his counselor, and his first session will be on, well, it was yesterday, his first session. We are asking Mr. Gutierrez to participate in a psychosocial and a mental health assessment. That will be scheduled in the near future with his established counselor. We are asking Mr. Gutierrez to participate in random drug testing and to submit to an OSAR assessment. The OSAR is being scheduled for next week. From my understanding, I have reached out to the provider and that will be scheduled. And we have asked him to submit to 2 drug tests, one for April and one for May. I have received his May results and he was positive for a UA with a level of 200 for marijuana. And his hair follicle also came back positive for marijuana with the 3.4 level. We are asking Mr. Gutierrez to participate in a BIP class program. He did establish that service yesterday, but he was asked to leave the office due to a strong marijuana odor on himself. So he is scheduled to go back to the class next Thursday. We are asking Mr. Gutierrez to participate in a parenting class program through the Fatherhood Heart program. And so his classes actually start next week on Thursday. We are asking Mr. Gutierrez to participate in his supervised visitations with the children. He has made every visit, of course, except for the visit that was on May 11th, where he was arrested on his way over here to Lubbock. And then we are asking him to comply with the bond restrictions that are set for him. He has signed consent for me to obtain records. And then, of course, the concern that was brought to my attention of both Mr. Gutierrez and Ms. Gomez coming together to their visits.
All right, thank you. Okay, Ms. Sapien, any questions?
No questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Morales?
No questions at the moment, Your Honor.
Ms. Zavala?
No questions.
All right. Mr. Graff, anything else from the department today, or St. Francis?
I don't believe so, Your Honor. I think that covers. That was very thorough. Thank you, Ms. Torres.
Thank you.
Okay, then, Ms. Sapien.
I don't have anything to present, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Morales, anything to present today?
Just briefly, Your Honor, I don't want to necessarily call Mr. Gutierrez, but I did speak with him. He does have a compassionate use license. His arrest had to do with, it was a marijuana arrest, so he anticipates that may go to trial given his license. That being said, additionally, we would ask the department to maybe make different accommodations on who's supervising the visit. He ensures me that he did not smoke. He did not consume any marijuana the day of his visit whatsoever. He's been honest with me about everything else, about his use, about his license, about his arrest. I don't know why he'd lie about that. But he said that the lady indicated that she was pregnant and that she was very sensitive to smells. I don't know if he did smoke tobacco that morning. He doesn't know if that was a cigarette that she could smell or what it was, but he says there's no way it was marijuana because I didn't smoke. And, since he had showered and had new clothes on. That being said, if that's going to be an issue moving forward, we'd like somebody else, that's not sensitive to that smell I guess to anything, because that's, he's already missed the first visit. But we're on page with, getting his things together. He's already working services. I think he'll do very well. We're just gonna have to figure out, the best way that he can move forward, keeping in mind that, he does have a compassionate use license, but, that has to be, that's gonna have to be tailored in a way that does not affect the child. So, but that's all I have for today, Judge.
All right. Okay, Ms. Zavala.
Your Honor, the boys are placed together. They're doing really well. We got thorough updates on all of their progress. Jesse is still banging his head on the floor, but they've gotten padded mats for the floor so that and are working really hard to change those type of behaviors. But the children are doing very well in placement. And I do recommend that placement continue. we were also aware of the parents coming and going from the same white truck for visitation. And so it sounds like that's been addressed.
All right then. Okay, Mr. Gutierrez, all I can tell you is just be sure you stay within the boundaries of that license.
Okay.
Um, all right then, today we're going to continue the department as temporary managing conservator of the children and continue their placements. Sounds like they're both doing well, making some progress, so that's good. I would find there's a continuing danger to return the children home at this time. But it sounds like parents are cooperating with us. I'm going to order the service plans as an order of the court today. So I will expect parents to work on those service plans. It sounds like we're off to a pretty good start. So that's a good thing. I will see everybody back for our initial permanency hearing. That'll be September 15th of 2026. That'll be a 9 o'clock docket. And then I will see you all again for a review hearing January 12th of 2027 on a 9 o'clock docket. Ultimately then for a final hearing on March 23rd of 2027 on a 9 o'clock docket. All those dates are in the scheduling order, but I will announce them here. So parents will have those in advance and will know. All right then. I will see y'all back in September. Ms. Gomez, Mr. Gutierrez, good luck to you both working your services. All I want to do is just tell you the clock is ticking. You know, we have parents that feel like, oh, I've got all the time in the world to get this stuff done. And, you know, you really don't. We have service providers that are busy. There may be some waiting lists for some of them. So the sooner you get stuff scheduled, the better off you'll be. So sounds like you're already working on it, and that's a good thing. But I just want you to have a realistic idea that some of these services, you know, they're offered at certain intervals, and so you can't just walk in on any given day and go complete something. So they have to be scheduled. So, and Mr. Gutierrez, BIP is a long program. So the sooner you get going on that, the better. Okay. I'll see y'all back in a few months, and I appreciate everybody showing up. Y'all have a good rest of your day.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
I'm not back again until the final this afternoon with Ms. Sapien. I can let the court know, just as a heads up, it sounds like we've got everything narrowed down to just one issue that we need the court to weigh in on. So hopefully that will be a relatively brief hearing.
Okay. All right. Sounds great. And I appreciate it. So I'll see you then.
You're welcome. I'll see you then. Thank you.
Okay. In the interest of the Rodriguez children, we're here today scheduled for our adversary hearing in this matter. We are conducting this through Zoom. We are live streaming, and Ms. Taylor is making our record. Okay, so present today, I have Ms. Powell from the Department of Family and Protective Services. Ms. Zavala is present on behalf of the children. I do not have any of the parents present. So let's talk about the status of service on them and what we need to do today.
Judge, we did send service out on the mother. We have not received it back at this time. I don't believe she's been served. And in regards to the fathers, I don't know that we have any locating information in regards to either of the fathers. Is that correct, Rashonda?
So on Everado, I did have an address for him. I was able to speak with him a couple days ago.
Let's hang on real quick. Let me go. If we're going to take some testimony, let me go ahead and get you sworn in. I just wanted to know if we had any returns, so. All right, Ms. Archie, you solemnly swear or affirm you'll tell us the truth today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, so we've issued citation on mom, but there's no return on file. I'm looking at Odyssey. Okay. We haven't issued on any of the fathers yet.
That's
Doesn't
correct.
appear, but
And I was unaware that we had an address on any of the fathers. The investigative, I don't have any information that you had any contact with any of the fathers.
He just contacted me, like Friday.
Okay.
So, and I barely sent an email out on yesterday to let y'all know that I had contact, because I sent it to Heidi as well. I haven't had any contact with him until then. He actually contacted us because he's been in contact with one of the boys, and they let him know that they were in our care.
okay, so this is Mr. Gallegos?
Everardo?
All right, Mr. Hasso?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
All
Sorry.
right, okay.
Oh, okay. I
But they're
found
in
it,
both in
Rashonda.
Juarez, Mexico. That's all I know.
Okay, everybody slow down. Everybody slow down. Y'all are talking all over each other. All right. So say that again, Ms. Archie.
The only thing that I knew from our very first visit was that they were located in Juarez, Mexico.
Who is located in Juarez, Mexico?
Both fathers, Edson and Everardo. Everardo is the only father that has reached out, that he actually gave me an address Friday.
And he is in
Juarez, Mexico.
Okay.
Okay, Rashonda, I just found the email.
Okay.
So. And have you had any contact with mother at all?
No, every time I've texted her, even at the court date, I sent her the link. She just responds back with stuff that has nothing to do with the case or being responsive to me. I did request for her to see if she wanted to meet with me here at the office, and her response was, I'm a kidnapper and I'm trafficking her kids. It's been nothing to try to get her some help. So
We probably need to extend, Judge.
Yeah, okay, so
am I able to say something real quick?
yeah, hey, give me just a second. Hang on.
Okay.
All right, Ms. Powell, I mean, we know where mother is, or at least we've got some locating information on her right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, I know she was in jail, but she's out now, obviously. Okay.
Let me look and see where we sent citation to and confirm that we have the correct address.
It looks like it went to Bluebell Street. I'm not going to give an address, but to Bluebell Street and an apartment number. Is that where we still think she is, Ms. Archie?
She is still there.
Okay. All right, but she was offered, to come to the department for the hearing, or has she given you any attorney paperwork?
So we attempted to do that the day of the removal. She did come up to the office, but she refused the paperwork. So I reached out to her yesterday to see if she wanted to meet with me here at the office so I could try to give her the paperwork again. I did express that we could try to get her a court appointed attorney, and she didn't want to come up here.
All right, and let me ask this, has that paperwork been sent to Mr. Hasso now that we have an address?
No, ma'am, I have not. I just it was a late evening whenever we talked on Friday. So
Okay.
But I'll get that done.
We need to go ahead and get that to him. Does mom have any active warrants out that we know about? I'm not showing it as far as Potter County, but I'm
When I
just-
ran the background, I didn't see any active warrants, and I haven't received any notifications of any.
okay. Okay, Miss Katie, what are we looking at on a reset date?
And Your Honor, while she's looking at that, before we go, I do have two quick things to address.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
So I think that most of the kids are able to have contact with each other after talking to everybody. Daisha does not have her own cell phone. So I want to make sure something's put in place so that the kids can have contact with each other. And I think that really it's Daisha that we need to focus on making sure she's brought into the loop. She really was hoping, and I sent an email out, and I don't know if I included the right people on it, but she really was hoping to attend sister's graduation on Thursday. I know that is hard. I know she's an hour and a half away. But I have to throw that out there. I know that that Ivor is going to be able to go to sister's graduation. But there's also issues about getting some stuff from home, but that's requiring, you know, communication and cooperation with mom, which I know we're not having right now. But in terms of right now, those are the two things I just want to throw out there. If there's any way to get Daisha to be able to attend graduation and then to get them to have visits with each other.
All right, Ms. Archie, any?
So as far as the graduation go, I know she's in Lubbock. The only thing is I won't be able to go to Lubbock. However, I already had plans to go to that graduation, so I don't mind taking her with me, but I just won't be able to go to Lubbock to pick her up to get her there. So if we can try to figure out how to get her to Amarillo, then I can take her to the graduation. But I just don't know how appropriate that would be. You know what I mean? So that's the only reason I haven't responded to your email yet, Stacy, on that, because I wasn't I wasn't sure if that would be appropriate since I was going to see someone else, you know.
Where's she placed?
She's placed at the Lubbock, I forgot the name of that place.
Sometimes I get them confused. She's either at Children's Home of Lubbock or at Girls and Boys.
The children's home.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
So it's unlikely they could bring her here for that. Anybody got any suggestions?
I don't know if there's something St. Francis might be able to help out with, if that's possible.
Well, the problem is they're not technically in the case yet.
Gotcha. Okay.
If we extend and reset this.
And I did tell her it might not be possible, but that we would try.
I personally would love for her to be there, that's for sure. I mean, if I go down there early to get her, she's just gonna be tagging along with me all, you know what I mean? So
I understand.
I mean, I have no problem doing that because I do want her to be there, be able to be there as well. So
Well, I'll let you all see if you can come up with any solutions. The only other thing I know to do is are some of them live streaming graduations, you know?
they're all live streamed. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do
Okay.
think not.
There's that possibility.
Hey, Stacy, I was gonna say, when I did the initial visit, well, mom didn't attend it. I'm sure y'all read my notes, but I did a sibling visit and, during the sibling visit, the placement said something about trying to bring her. So y'all might check with placement. She said she was gonna try, and then if it's live stream, I would definitely make sure the older boys know, around Houston, because they wanted to watch it too, but I didn't know it was gonna be live streamed.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's okay. let's just see what we can figure out. If we can get her here and she can go with Ms. Archie, that's great. If we, if we can't, then I think the live stream for the kids is probably the best that we can do. But it's better than nothing. Okay, all right. Anything else we need to address before we recess
Not for
this?
me, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, then, so we're gonna reset this for everybody see the chat. We were looking at May 26th at 9 or June 2nd at 9.
I'm good with May 26th.
Your Honor, I'll be attending the May 26th docket remotely. And it would be significantly easier for me if we could do June 2nd, but I can make either one of them work.
Yeah, I'm fine. I mean, if we still have plenty of time, which we should, so let's go ahead and set it to June 2nd. Since we don't have service and we've got one parent that's out of the country, at least we know of one for sure, maybe two. I think it's appropriate to give that additional time. So let's give that 14 days time. All right, so June 2nd.
And Rashonda, will you follow up with the HSTs and figure out where everything that has gone that's been filed?
Yes, and I've
Okay.
only filed the investigation report and I sent it, but I don't, she may have missed it because,
Okay.
yeah, so, but yeah. I've only filed that because this was only my second visit with them and it ended up turning into a removal. So I haven't had them very long. So there's not a lot to file.
All right. See everybody back then.
Yeah, thank you, Judge.
Thank y'all. In the interest of Alex Nema and Bali Shungver, I'm not gonna say it right, Shungvari Yamana. We are here today for our status hearing. We are conducting this through Zoom under a finding of good cause and agreement of the parties. We're live streaming. And Ms. Taylor's making our record this morning. All right, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Morning, Your Honor. Gene Graff and Amanda Haas on behalf of St. Francis, present, ready to proceed.
Stacy Grant on behalf of the mother, Alonia Zawahadi, and I'm present. My client is not present, but I'm ready to proceed, Your Honor.
Stacy Zabala on behalf of the girls. Alex is with us here today. I know that she's got her camera off now and that's totally fine. But I don't anticipate she'll be speaking today, but I would ask that if she does, that we go off of the record at that point to protect her privacy.
All right, let me just ask a quick question. Ms. Campos just logged back in. She wouldn't have Valley with her, would she? Okay, all right. Okay, then, Ms. Haas, are you giving us the update today?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, let me go ahead and swear you in. You solemnly swear or affirm that you'll tell us the truth today.
I do, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Hakizama, just stand by. If she shows up, I'll get you sworn in and we'll have you start interpreting, but right now there's not anybody for you to interpret for.
Okay.
Okay. All right, then, if you want to go ahead and update us, Ms. Haas, and we'll see who has questions.
Sure. Thank you, Your Honor. Alex and Violet are doing very well. Violet started Job Corps last week on Monday. She is enjoying it so far. She's already made a couple of friends and she is looking forward to her future career. Alex is doing well with Chol. She is attending school and she's looking forward to summer. And I've also spoken with Ms. Waddy. She did sign her family plan service and has agreed to services. We are still trying to locate their father, Alex Swearajumana. He is located in Tanzania, Africa. We are in contact with the Tanzanian consulate, and we are also searching for other family members that are connected.
Do we know about any family that's in this country?
We are exploring those options by DFPS and information from the adversary. We're exploring those options that Ms. Awadi Alonia had stated.
Okay. All right. Are we going to be able to provide the services to mom in her native language?
We are working on finding translation services to assist with those classes. Due to the language barrier, we're going to look at extended different services that might be online, where there might be options to translate or use the language line.
Okay. And in a lot of these cases, what we found to be helpful is if we can roll a lot of those into one service provider. So if we have a licensed counselor that can do a lot of these things, I think it makes it, if we've got, that one point of contact, I think it makes it easier for everybody. I know it can take time, but if we can find that kind of arrangement, I think it's beneficial.
Thank you so much for that suggestion, Your Honor. We're definitely going to look into that as well. Is it possible that we can have language classes ordered for her to participate in?
I am good with that. I think that's for the children's best interest.
Yes.
And there are still children in the home. So
Yes, there are.
I understand they're not under the jurisdiction of the court, but I think not only for the children that are under our jurisdiction, but for the family as a whole, I think that's a beneficial thing. So we can add that to her service plan.
Thank
But
you so much.
again, like counseling and parenting and, rational behavior training, a lot of those things, I strongly feel like a lot of those things can be rolled all in with one service provider. I mean, there may be some variances of what we normally do, but I'm okay with that. I feel like it's more effective if we have that more one-on-one with a singular provider for those things than having her go to a lot of different people.
Right. Thank you.
So, okay. All right, Ms. Grant, do you have any questions?
I don't, Your Honor. We are not disagreeable to the language classes, and I will notify my client that she will be expected to participate in those by court order.
All right, and Ms. Zavala?
Just a few. Ms. Haas, I do understand that normally in our cases, the visits between a parent and a child are supervised, correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, but unfortunately, we've got a problem in this case in that because of the language difference, we would need an interpreter in order for there to be supervision, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so at this point, the girls have only had one visit with their mom and siblings, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, And that seemed to go well.
Yes.
Okay. I know that it is outside of the norm, but if the alternative is them not having any contact with mom or siblings, can we allow that contact without an interpreter up until a problem appears, if there seems to be a problem in the future? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because I'm really afraid they've now been in care for quite a while, and if there's only been a possibility of one visit with an interpreter, I don't feel like that's sufficient contact with mom or siblings. So I guess what I'm going to be asking the court today is for an order that those visits be allowed to happen, even if there's not an interpreter. If you know, does St. Francis have a position on that?
I would like to expand on the visits.
Okay.
Due to the removal status and the circumstances that were leading up to removal, Violet and Alex, there were therapeutic visits that were ordered with CPS, with DFPS and CPI, due to the mounting on top of the mounting disagreements and the interactions that were quite conflicting, along with the language barrier. And so as a result, we've been looking for therapeutic visits on top of the language barrier.
So is it
That's what
saying, and I do understand that the removal was very emotional, and I understand why it was put in place at the beginning.
Mhm.
But is it St. Francis's position that if those things can't be found, they should have no contact?
It is in our position to understand the circumstances that were leading to removal, along with the contact that we've had with the children and their impressions from the events. And we were, just due to the adversary and it being DFPS wanting strongly to have therapeutic visits.
Okay. And I'll get back to that with my recommendation, but Ms. Haas, Violet has asked if there is any way that St. Francis can help coordinate getting her cell phone from her mother. Job Corps uses the cell phone for a lot of things. Do you know if that would be possible for St. Francis to assist with that?
We are currently working on it. I spoke to Violet yesterday regarding the cell phone. Due to the distance, that will be a little bit of a barrier. However, we've been in contact with her, and we've also been in contact with her placement on finding alternatives to using a cell phone because it is connected to a card. And I've spoken with placement, and they've stated previously that there have been students that have not had a cell phone. But we are working on getting the cell phone down to her.
Your Honor, that's all that I have in terms of questions.
So where is Violet, geographically speaking?
She's in McKinney, which is north of Dallas.
Okay,
Also happens to be my hometown.
okay.
And Your Honor, I'm actually traveling to my dad's house in Sherman, Texas in a couple of weeks, and I would be happy to transport it. That's about 30 miles from McKinney.
All right, I guess it's just staying
So if I
contact.
need to get it from my client, yeah. If I need to
Yeah, if we
retrieve it
stay in
from my
contact with
client
this-
and transport it, then I will.
Okay, I appreciate it. Um,
And Your
okay,
Honor,
so visits, let me just ask, have we, Ms. Haas, is it possible we could inquire with mom about, are there, is there anybody kind of in her circle, community of friends or anything like that, that might be bilingual, that might be willing to sit in on visits, simply make sure the conversation is appropriate. Maybe St. Francis doesn't know word for word everything that's being said, but just to be sure that maybe it's appropriate. Maybe there's a religious leader, maybe there is a community leader or somebody that might be bilingual who we could enlist that help to just basically, sit in and monitor.
Yes, Your Honor, but due to the nature of removal and the therapeutic visits needing to be conducted, that's where the barrier is sitting with not just the language, but therapeutic visits were needed.
I get it, and I'm not saying we don't need therapeutic visits. I'm talking about just maybe some normal weekly visits that I'd love for the therapeutic visits to go forward. And let them really work on the hard issues, in a therapeutic setting. But for sibling contact and mom, just to let them all be together, as long as things are appropriate. Can we look into trying to enlist the help of somebody in her community, so to speak?
Yes, and we also have translation services, so we can provide that as well.
Okay, it's just a suggestion that we've used in other cases I've had where we've had a fairly remote language, remote in the sense of, in terms of our ability to provide interpretation. So, anyway.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Not a court order. I'm just trying to make some suggestions.
Thank you so much. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, then, Mr. Graff, you all have anything else today?
I don't believe so, Your Honor. I think that covered everything.
All right, then. At this time, then I will continue the
Oh, Your Honor?
Yes.
I
I'm so sorry.
apologize. I didn't cover everything in the questions.
Okay, no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So Violet, of course, has been moved. The girls are now separate. So there's another issue in terms of contact between each other. That shouldn't have to be supervised. I think the issue is that Violet doesn't have a cell phone, and so that's making the communication between the sisters difficult. But if we can set up some sort of regular call or some provision so that they can have contact with each other. But both girls in our separate visits on their own expressed their concern and that they had not spoken to mom or siblings and had only been able to do so once. So that was a big concern for both of them. And then the cell phone for Violet. But overall, they both seem to be doing really, really well.
Okay. All right, then I'll continue the department as temporary managing conservator, and I'll continue the girls' placements. I would find a continuing danger to return the children home at this time. I'm going to order the service plans as an order of the court today, and I'll see everybody back. Our initial permanency hearing will be on September 22nd of 2026. That will be a 9 o'clock docket. Our subsequent review hearing would be January 19th of 2027 on a 9 o'clock docket, and a final on March 30th of 2027 on a 9 o'clock docket. So that's the dates as it stands right now.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, then, I appreciate everybody. Sir, thank you for joining us and trying to help us out. We appreciate you and hope you have a good rest of your week.
You too as well. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.